Hey everyone, welcome. I'm BombYG from KTG. Today I'm bringing you a tutorial on the barrel roll, one of the tactical maneuvers used in aerial combat. Before we get into the main tutorial, I actually made a video a while back about advanced dogfighting maneuvers, specifically the 1-circle and 2-circle flow in a guns fight, and a lot of you showed a lot of interest and positive response to it. What really surprised me when I read through the comments was that it wasn't just Metalstorm players, people who played DCS, War Thunder, and other flight games were watching too. That honestly made me really happy and motivated. Even if the games are different, the core meta is the same. Flying a fighter jet, competing against enemy aircraft, engaging, firing missiles, evading. Playing as a team, these fundamentals are shared across all these games. So even though you all play different games, there's something that connects us, a sense of camaraderie and shared identity that I was really glad to experience. I just want to take this moment to say thank you to everyone who tuned in and showed interest. All right, let's get back to the main tutorial. First, let me explain what a barrel roll actually is and cover the concept behind it. A barrel refers to a hollow cylindrical tube. That's where the name comes from. So instead of flying straight forward, the fighter traces a spiral path around the outside of an imaginary cylinder, rotating around it as it moves forward. That's what we call a barrel roll. So when do you use the barrel roll? It's most commonly used as an evasive maneuver. When a missile is incoming from behind, you combine it with countermeasures like chaff or flares to break the missile's tracking. Or when an enemy is right on your tail and firing guns at close range, you keep changing direction continuously so they can't get a clean aim on you. The barrel roll can be used in both of those situations. That's the concept, but let's now take a look at whether the barrel roll actually works in real matches in Metalstorm and how it's applied in practice. For this next clip, I'll be flying the A6 Intruder to show you a barrel roll demonstration. The A6 is slower and heavier than other aircraft, and its roll rate is also slower, so it should give us a much more detailed look at the barrel roll in action. The way to perform a barrel roll is top pitch up while rolling at the same time. You can roll either clockwise or counterclockwise, doesn't matter which direction. Let's take a look. Since I use a mouse, pitch, yaw, and roll aren't mapped to separate axes, so I just spin the mouse in a circular motion. And as you can see, the aircraft traces that spiral path forward. If you roll slowly, the circle gets bigger, and if you roll fast, the circle gets tighter, right? So you adjust based on what the situation calls for. For a more refined technique, as you'll see in the clip, adding yaw input alongside the roll makes it even better. For example, if you're rolling counterclockwise like right now and you add right yaw at the same time, the tail kicks outward while the nose gets pushed inward, creating a more refined barrel roll with a tighter, more defined spiral shape. That said, in my opinion, yaw isn't the most critical part of the barrel roll. The most important thing is just continuously spinning in that spiral pattern. That's the key. For this next clip, I'll be flying the MiG-19 to show you how to dodge an enemy missile using a barrel roll while still landing a successful missile hit. The MiG-19's missile is a beam-riding missile. The missile I fire follows the same direction as my own maneuver. So we ended up with a pretty interesting clip. I fired my missile first, then an enemy missile came in at me. I dodge using a barrel roll and the enemy gets hit. When you look at it, my jet is barrel rolling, and the missile I fired is also barrel rolling right alongside it, spiraling together to take down the enemy. It made for a pretty cool clip. Next up, let's look at a clip showing how to use the barrel roll specifically for missile evasion. Keep in mind you can't dodge missiles with a barrel roll alone. You need to combine it with countermeasures. Since I'll be dodging multiple missiles at once, I'll be showing you a Raptor clip equipped with fast flares. I'll push deep into enemy territory first to draw their aggro, then soak up all their missiles while flying back toward my teammates. That way my teammates get a free window to attack. The missiles start coming in, I'm continuously deploying fast flares while doing the barrel roll. You can see a massive number of missiles all targeting me, and I keep dodging them. I took one hit at the very end, but he dodged a total of 14 missiles. Now, the barrel roll isn't the only way to evade missiles. For example, when a missile's incoming, you can also dive sharply behind terrain to break the lock. But when you're dealing with a continuous stream of missiles, the barrel roll is particularly useful. The idea is that you don't want to give up your attack position or the angle you have on the enemy You want to maintain your heading while still evading the missiles. That's what the barrel roll is for. As I mentioned earlier, it lets you keep your aircraft pointed in one direction. In this case, we saw a defensive maneuver, but in an offensive scenario, when you want to evade missiles without giving up the angle you need to attack the enemy. That's exactly where the barrel roll comes in. The next clip is not a defensive position, but an offensive one, showing how to use the barrel roll to evade missiles while maintaining the attack angle and keeping the pressure on the enemy. This is an interceptor versus interceptor fight. Let's take a look. The opponent here is Nicole. We used to train together a lot when they were in KTG Squadron. Now they've moved over to Ace Squadron, and they're doing great work there. Watch this, missiles are incoming, but instead of just diving one direction to dodge, I'm maintaining a position where I can keep attacking the enemy, never taking my ayes off them, while still continuously evading the missiles. That's the barrel roll in action. Keep in mind, this was a practice session, so it's not perfect. And dodging those fast interceptor missiles with a tight barrel roll is genuinely difficult. So take that into account as you watch. So to summarize, the barrel roll works. Great for evading a high volume of missiles while retreating, and it also works offensively, allowing you to dodge missiles without giving up your attack angle. Hopefully these examples give you something useful to take away. Next up, let's move away from missile evasion and look at the barrel roll's defensive effectiveness against gun attacks. Our instructor for this segment is IMSIS, so here, Bomb YG's F1 will be attacking, and IMSIS's F1 will be running away while using the barrel roll to avoid my gunfire. This side is Bomb YG's view. This side is IMSIS's view. Watch carefully. As I open fire, IMSIS starts the barrel roll. You can see them spinning up ahead, and while my gun reticle is tracking, it keeps drifting and I can't get a kill before my guns overheat. They keep barrel rolling the whole time. Even as I keep firing, the gun damage just isn't landing cleanly. It's not that zero damage gets through, but I've gone through 2 full gun overheats now and still haven't gotten a kill. Some rounds are hitting from the side. As the distance closes, with the barrel roll happening at a side angle, the effectiveness of the gun evasion is significantly reduced. So why does the barrel roll actually work against gun attacks? The basic concept is that bullets have travel time they don't hit instantly. So when I fire my guns, the rounds don't reach the enemy. The instant I pull the trigger, there's a travel time before they get there. In a head-on engagement, the bullets close the gap relatively fast since both aircraft are approaching each other. But when you're chasing a fleeing enemy and firing from behind, the effective speed of the rounds is much slower relative to the target. So even if you fire at your gun reticle, if the enemy changes direction during that bullet travel time, the rounds will miss. That's why this kind of barrel roll is actually effective at evading gunfire while running away, and that's exactly what I just demonstrated. Now let's do the same guns evasion barrel roll scenario, but with the roles switched. This time I, Bomb YG, will be flying the F-16 and barrel rolling away, while IMSIS's F-1 will be the one attacking from behind. This time around, I'll try making the barrel roll a bit larger than before, and also mix it up going big, then tight, varying the size of the roll to keep things unpredictable. Watch this carefully. This is Bomb YG's F-16, and this is IMSIS's F-1. I turn to give them the rear angle. As they start firing, I begin the roll. You can see the roll is noticeably bigger than before. See that? You can see the spiral pattern clearly. The gun rounds aren't connecting. They couldn't land a hit through a full gun overheat. We're now at about 0.2 to 0.3 kilometer, getting pretty close. Getting as close as 0.4 kilometer, and sure, some rounds are getting through while I barrel roll. But they recklessly burned through 3 full gun overheats and still couldn't get a kill. Even at a very close range, the barrel roll uses the bullet travel time against the enemy by changing direction in that window. It throws off the gun's accuracy. All right, we got a kill there. So that clip showed a nice wide barrel roll. Now let's do it one more time. This time, mixing it up with big rolls and small rolls, irregular and unpredictable. So when you encounter an enemy, this is show the barrel roll can really disrupt their gun accuracy. Definitely worth practicing this. I started the barrel roll the moment the gunfire began. Slow and wide, then fast and tight, then wide again. Then fast, the reason you vary it like this is that if you keep a consistent rhythm, the enemy can predict it and lead their shots ahead of your position. But if you mix up the speed fast then slow, unpredictable, you can also throw off their predictive aim accuracy. That said, while the barrel roll does reduce the gun damage you take from an enemy's gun attack, it doesn't fundamentally shake them off your tail completely. You're buying time, that's what it's about. So while you're stalling them out and their guns are overheating, the key question is, where are you running to? That's when you barrel roll your way toward your own teammate's head in that direction. And that's how you finally shake the enemy off. So to summarize the barrel roll, it's useful maneuver for missile evasion, and it's also effective for disrupting enemy gun accuracy, giving you some defensive protection against gun attacks too. That's what we covered this time. I think if you start incorporating the barrel roll in a variety of ways, it could really help you show better results and smoother maneuvering in your matches. Thanks for watching through the whole video. This has been Bomb YG from KTG.